Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hollywood Bets Kenilworth. Today we're out there, Wednesday, some racing going on, and it's a 10 race program. The second race that I've got Daryl Marie in the studio with me about, we're going to talk about now, has got this horse at even money favourite this morning when we did the show at around 10 o'clock. That Richard Fareed's riding for Glenn Cotson. They're having a tremendous run, and Princess Virginie is the even money favourite. Daryl Marie, morning.
Morning.
Just a couple of runs from this horse, and just to get an idea from you, is this good enough? Or what have you seen?
I don't know why she's evens, to be honest. You're a form lines man, right, Clyde? Have a look at her debut efforts. Looking back, it's easier in hindsight, but there have been 6 runners, and all 6 have run unplaced.
Okay.
Not a single placing from that form line. But you know what? She could be better than her second run. But strictly on paper, Love Shack has got her beaten, and beaten quite comfortably. How many lengths, Clyde? Just on 3.5 lengths.
About 3 lengths, you're correct.
Yeah, and then, or 4 lengths even, closer to 4 lengths. And Princess Virginie is even money, and Love Shack 72. I'm struggling to understand
What happened
why.
to Princess Virginie last time, though?
Maybe it was a flat run, but the form line of her debut hasn't really worked out.
Okay.
So
which one, Love Shack?
I really think the value's with Love Shack at 72. I mean, I'd rather be taking 72 about the even money. Darren Burrows disagrees with me. He says Princess Virginie is much better than that run. Let's see how she goes. What's interesting over here, Clyde, there's not much separating numbers 1 and 4. And Louis Mtotwa rode number 4 last time out. He's opted to take the ride on number 11, Hanging Rock, who looks like the pennies dropped for her, and she's having a peak run. So I'm going 1-8-11.
And Darren's horse, Lady Loxton, didn't he mention, is this his horse?
Yeah, he's got a shame.
Yeah.
She's been disappointing. I think that's fair to say.
For a better run. All right, let's put selections up from Daryl and the team. Let's see what we got. This is bipod time, and well, Darren Burrows is quite keen on Princess Virginie, and that's his play. He said, this horse is probably going to drift, so... But he's quite confident. And then Daryl's got a bipod worked out to put it up for you. 1-8-11 by 3 and 9, by 3, 5 and 12, by 3 and 4, by 2, 4 and 15, by 2, 5 and 9. Third race on the card is a maiden plate, and this is run over 1,400 meters. This particular event, a field of 16, because the 17 not running, it's been taken out. The latest in the market from Betway this morning is 2-1 about number 3, Celtic Chief, for the Andre Nell stable that Cornet Orff is riding. Number 4 on the card, Peter Muscat and Richard Fareed team up, and they got this horse Pattaya, that's second favourite at 5-1, and you can get 11-2 about number 9, Spelling Bee for Dean Caddemeyer, who you got to respect, they're in good form. Think, Daryl?
Firstly, a comment in the front of the computer form for number 4, Pattaya. Fit and should run well. So, positive from Mr. Muscat.
Right.
Number 3, Celtic Chief Clyde. He cost a few pound. 3 million rand exactly. But, he's shown that he's more than capable of winning a maiden. I mean, he's finished in close up in all 3 of his encounters to date. Last time out, the horse had ran second, came out and trotted up next time out, Call to You United. Comes back a furlong. He's well drawn. I think he's got a lot in his favour. I backed him up with my first choice, Spelling Bee. Now, in his penultimate start, he put in an eye-catching finish. And he was closing in hand over fist behind Magic Verse, who got the run of the race. And then I watched his later start. They tried to place him, and he came out and he was running and he was doing too much. Over racing, Clyde. So I think perhaps ridden cold this time, and coming back in trip, they tend to go a little bit quicker, give him more chance to settle. So I'm going 9 from 3.
Yeah. Well, Spelling Bee, of course, does come from that a Norsean run as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
It came out and won, so that's fairly strong. And you've got to respect Celtic Chief. So, what does that mean? Place accumulators, let's go. Put them up, please. What we've got in the running of the third. 3, 4 and 9 from Darren's perspective. He's got one by 3, 5, 9 and 12. By 3 and 4, as you can see, it's quite challenging today. By 2 and 4. By 2, 3 and 5. By 5, 10 and 12. By 7 and 9. So no bankers in Darren's place accumulator. Daryl Marie's got one worked out for you as well. He's got a banker. Comes up later in the first leg, 3 and 9, by 3, 5 and 12, by banker 3, by 2, 4 and 15, then 2, 5 and 9, by 7 and 8, and at the back 5 and 7. Those are the PAs for today's Hollywood Bets Kenilworth meeting. All right, so the Port Elizabeth raid is top of the boards. Alan Creef, Richard Fourie with this horse, Joy and Peace, number 5 in the card. Daryl, who's priced up at 3-1. But just having a look, I don't know, you'll know more about the Port Elizabeth form, but that particular form line, I see nothing's firing. That particular line from its last start.
Yeah, Clyde, but it was the manner in which she won. You can just see she's improving nicely. She's progressing beautifully, and certainly on the right track. Early on in her career, she met a filly called Luna Halo. Now, Luna Halo actually ran close up in the WSB Cape Fillies Guineas over the weekend, behind Beach Bomb. Certainly far from disgrace. So I think Joy and Peace, if you're willing to put a line through her only below par efforts, she's done absolutely nothing wrong to date. And she could only get the maximum £6 penalty in her later start. So, yes, healthy respect for her. Mr. Creef's horses ran extremely well over the weekend, Clyde, when they raided.
Right.
So, I like her chances. Darren Burrows is very keen on Desert Rose. Now, this mare has won over the course and distance in the past. Last time out, she wasn't very well treated at the weight. She was probably in need of her local debut in the Western Cape. And she comes back in trip and she'll strip fitter. So I see there's been a lot of support for her in the market. I respect her chances. And one last one I want to touch on is number 12, Nordic Quest. Now, in her penultimate start, Clyde, she was a bit unlucky. She got cramped or taken up for a stride or two at Durbanville, and she flashed up very late. It was a cracking effort. Last time out, she was caught wide. She looked in trouble and she rallied towards the end, suggesting she might appreciate the extra. So for me, numbers 3, 5, and 12 to focus on over here.
Well, the best stable is absolutely flying. Okay, so let's have a look at our exotics now for race number 4. Thanks, Daryl. It's Desert Rose from Darren Burrows' perspective. He's quite keen on this. And currently this morning, when doing the show, around 6 or 7-1. Okay, back with us. Welcome. Nice to have you with us. Race number 5 is a maiden class field. It's over 2,000 meters, and Family Power does look like the right horse in the race. It's been in consistent, good form, and that not much has run from that last that line of Passchendaele, Daryl, and other than Eternal Optimist, I think, who came out and won. So that's been solid, and I guess one confident enough with a horse like this, or what?
You can't be overly confident because there's not much separating Family Power and English Mistress on form, Clyde. I think it's less than a length, three quarters of length to be exact. And English Mistress is being fitted with a set of blinkers for the first time. I actually watched that replay. Not surprising that they put the blinkers on because Mornay Vinna was at her a long way from home. So I'm sure it was his suggestion. She's having her peak run, and you can see she's met the favourite twice. Now, in her penultimate start, she was beaten by 3 odd lengths, and last time out less than a length. So on paper, one would say she's progressing quicker, but I think Family Power is a nice staying type of filly. Last time out she was on the rail when Anthony switched her to the middle of the track. She was really doing her best work late. What's interesting over here is Richard has opted to ride her over number 9, Sansa Stark, who he rode in her last 2 starts, and isn't too far behind numbers 3 and 4 on paper. So I think 3 and 4 to fight it out. I certainly wouldn't discount the chances of 5, 7, and 9 for trifectas and quartets.
Okay.
But I think Richard's keen to be proven right over here, Clyde.
Yeah, I think so, and it's a jockey strike in no uncertain terms. Richard Fourie on Family Power, but let's see how things go. Daryl does read it a bit deeper than that. Let's take a look at selections for race 5. It's a Darren Burrows jackpot. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 by 2, 4, and 15 by 2, 3, 5, and 8 by 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 13. Right, race number 6. Let's chat about a maiden class field over 2,000 meters. Note that number 11 this morning has been taken out. And so at this point in time, just the 14 horses going to the gate. The favourite here is number 2, Master of All Storms. Again, Glenn Cotson, Raymond Danielson. We saw him successful during the course of the week at Turfentine. They're 18 to 10 favourite, Daryl. And I just want to get your view. I see current form fairly solid. It's nothing from the form line yet. Nothing's run. So it's still early days. But combinations working, forms working. You happy?
Yeah, the stable's working.
Yeah.
Glenn Cotson, Chad Little, Raymond Danielson, they're really getting the best out of their horses currently, Clyde. Yeah, he's improved since being stepped up in trip. Of that, there's no doubt. But I've got a question mark over his form line, so I'm certainly not taking his price. Yeah, he's got a lot in his favour in that he stays, he's well drawn. But I'm not overly excited about his current odds. Here's your favourite horse, Clyde, Marshall Field. Are you done with him?
Yeah, done.
You done?
I hope it wins for the connections. They're lovely people. But now I'm done.
What about his form prior to his 2 Durbanville runs?
No. Thank you. Please don't talk me into it.
No.
Thank you.
Clyde.
No, thank you.
You're a form lines man. You're a form lines man. Go have a look at his penultimate form line.
Look in the last form line. The last form line.
I'm going to be with Marshall Field today.
Okay, we'll shout Bernard home.
Yeah, I like his chances. I think back at Kenilworth, we're going to see him bounce back in a big way. Clyde, have a look at number 15. Now, this would have been easy for Michelle and Harold to say, you know what, drawn 15 out of 15, let's rather scratch or whatever. But they've opted to accept and run him. Richard's, I'm sure, given feedback that the son of Camford Clips is looking for the extra. And there's a long back straight, and you got Richard free in the irons to overcome that tricky draw. So you can see in his penultimate start, he holds number 6 quite convincingly on the Oliver form line. So he's having his peak run. He just needs luck from that tricky draw. I'm going 4 from 2 and 15.
Okay. There you go. Interesting race. We'll see how they plan out and what Glenn Cotson and Raymond Danielson have got in store on current form. Number 2, it may well be the right horse, but there are a few that Daryl likes as well. What have we got here in terms of selections, please? Let's have a look. From our team, Darren Burrows is quite keen on 2, Master of All Storms, and the 4, Marshall Field. So they both guys on the same horses. Class 4 over 1400 meters. Let's have a look at race number 7 now. And in this particular event, it's 5 to 2, top of the boards, about Craig Zaki's ride for Dean Cannemeyer, number 2, Royal Swan Master. That's the one they got to beat. Oliver's not out of it. Fair horse, and Adam Marcus trains that. Gareth Wright's riding it at 6 to 1. And the third choice, before I go to Daryl, is the Crawford horse, Infrared. And Louis McCoss were riding that, priced up around 6 to 1. Let's talk about Cannemeyer's horse. Is that the right one? Has the market have they got it right?
Yeah. Clyde, I've got my question marks over this horse. He wasn't exactly moving great last time out, yet he finished his race off nicely. So I don't know what to make of him. I'd like to see him move down to the start. I mean, Clyde, how can you fault a horse? He's run second, first, and second in his 3 starts to date. So he could be much better than his current rating, and of that I got no doubt. Strictly on paper, you have to have respect for Oliver. He has improved with the cheek pieces. And I watched his later start. He was doing very good work late. So not much separating the two of them. He's having his peak run. So probably was a bit in need of his later start. Infrared interests me a lot. I thought, have a look at his progress. His debut was in a very moderate field. Good second up start. Leaps of improvement from run 1 to run 2. Then last time out, he beat Norshan, who came out and won quite easily. He was fitted with a tongue tie last time for the first time. Obviously, the tongue tie stays on, so he's 1 from 1 with that equipment change. Let's see how the form line works out early on in the day. You got Cosmic Rhythm, you got Spelling Bee. So if they frank the form, I think that could possibly enhance his chances. And I want to touch on number 5 here, Fibonacci. Clyde, have a look. His first run as a gelding was dismal. Then they opted to put the blinkers back on him, and he overdid it. He just traveled too hard. Then in his later start, they made it well aware that they're going to give him a chance, drop him in, let him settle and do his best work late, and that worked a treat. So I've got no doubt they're going to give him a chance once again, get him to settle, and he'll be flashing up late. And I'm actually going to suggest number 5, Fibonacci, as the likely winner here.
Okay, well that's quite interesting because that would, I'd imagine, be at a decent price, Fibonacci, 10 to 1 or thereabouts. That's the latest from the weighted to Betway weighted to win team. Let's have a look at what the selections are now for this particular event. And Darren Burrows, he's on this horse number 3 on the card in this particular event. He's at any price in a Marore. It's a 12 to 1 shot. So you may want to use some of that, number 3 here, with Darryl's first choice, number Fibonacci, number 5. You double float 3 and 5. It's big money.